This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys, as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so from this morning's pre-market, we knew things were going to be a little bit iffy, based off the fact of being Columbus Day and just not really having much going on out there. But really, what it comes down to is it only takes one. We had SES on our we definitely will have it on our afternoon list, but we had it on our morning list, and that's really all it took. So let's talk about what Davis and I were talking about a little bit earlier. We were talking about where was the kiss of death, because when you see something happen like this, a lot of the times, you know what, you stop looking at it. So you might have missed this entire trade going up today. But one thing that we have to look at is that in the entire pre-market, they were building up their position as low as 750. So really what it would have taken for every one of these people to start losing money from the pre-market was break below 750. Now, as we can see, we did not hit that. We ended up getting beautiful prints coming in at that 781 level. Now, you didn't really get a great trigger there yet. So even though there was great ask prints, it wasn't really much to do until right here. This is where the first trigger came in. This was the money entry right there. Now, if you got in before, then great, but there wasn't really a reason yet. But overall, the money entry, and then this thing just kind of, just took off. Now, keep in mind, a stock that just continues and continues to get halted, a lot of times what ends up happening is even on a huge move like this, you really don't have many shares left. Okay, it's very, very hard because of the drastic movements that these stock make to keep any type of substantial amount of shares after you start to lock in profit. So if that happens to you, keep in mind that's perfectly fine. That's what's going to happen. Now, obviously, someone that's trading 10,000 shares, only having a little left would be something, in the thousands. When someone that be trading 1,000 shares, having something left would probably be in the low hundreds. But at the end of the day, guys, when you have this much of a move and this big of a percentage, that you have to play it safe, because at the end of the day, this thing could go in a halt right now. If there's 15 minutes of fame, guys, open up at 2 afterwards. So you want to be a mix of risk versus reward in here. You want to start off, not as conservative, but quickly lock in some profit. There's not much. There's not much that you can leave it to just continue to go, because, like I said, in a lot of these, these pullbacks and stuff like that, you're looking at $2, $3, $1.50, even so. So giving up that much and even holding that much, is a little bit harder. So we have beautiful buying that came in at that 17 level, enough to get us at least to that 1750. And we can see we just had some 1750 here on the ask. We have some 18. So this thing really, I mean, if it were me, I really would want to test that 20. And based off the way that it's moving, I wouldn't be shocked to see it just run right past 20, as long as we keep this volume up. As long as this volume stays up and we don't start to go into this kind of lull like this, then we can expect a lot more. I mean, there's still buying coming in, and if it lets me go all the way back, okay, underneath this selling at 1650, we had a whole bunch of 17 prints. That's what I'm really going off of right now at this moment, on top of those 715, 1750 and 18. Now let's take a look at BIMI, next thing on our list. So this thing is absolutely beautiful as well. It's a way easier stock to control than SES, but at the same time, it's not going to move as much as SES is. So it's, that risk versus reward and kind of weighing out what we're looking for. But one thing that we see here, guys, is, I mean, there's just beautiful buying at that 650 level to get it to 7. Then we come down to the 7. Yes, of course, we're going to get selling, but we still have new buying coming into this. So as long as we continue with this new buying, no reason this thing doesn't want to come up and see that 10. Now, keep in mind, for SES to get to 20 is a lot easier than BIMI to get to 10. Okay, just based off obviously the amount that it moves and the range that we have going into it. So a little bit more controlled here, not going to move as much, but SES, obviously continuing to get that buying. This thing, I mean, this is, stocks that have a personality like SES does. Those are the type of stocks that we end up seeing run to, 25, 50, 100, 300, whatever it may be. So other than that, guys, I really liked something I saw in Roku just before, and it's coming back up. Just something I want you to keep an eye on. Okay, right here, this 118.90. As we were coming back down towards these lows, this is just somebody that's looking to make some pretty quick money, it looks like. So this showing that, it certainly has the selling to be able to break past this double bottom that we have there. Volume's at 30,000 shares. It's not too bad to actually be looking at. So I'm gonna put Roku on our list, just because obviously there's not a huge amount of stuff. I mean, Bob is trading 4,000 shares a minute right now. Not a huge amount of volume on our everyday stock. So Roku, I'm going to put in there. And then obviously Tesla is another thing that I'm going to be looking at very closely. So those prints that came in at 255, absolutely phenomenal. Pushed up from them on, you can see absolutely nothing. All right. As of this moment, we still need to pull back from 250. Okay. We did come underneath it. If we go back, we did come back underneath 250 a little bit, but for about like $2, just not enough. So certainly expecting, especially before we come into the earnings, a pretty substantial pullback coming in from Tesla. Now, obviously, the volume is 12,000 shares a minute. It is not great whatsoever, but something I am going to be watching very closely based off of those just monster controlling prints that we saw coming into them. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? So we went through the scanner. I mean, I don't really see anything else that that really interests me too much. Okay, the only other thing I know Davis had brought up this morning, PEs doesn't look terrible. We kind of have it rounding off at that top right at this print line, and we're starting to come back in. If we could break this 15 print line, there's no reason it couldn't get to 1450. I'm going to put PE on our side list. Because I like the setup. I just don't like at all how it's trading. I mean, the way that it trades is, I'm not a big fan. I just kind of like the setup that I see going on there. All right, guys, Traders Exchange tomorrow. Last week to sign up for Onside. Other than that, talk to everyone in the chat and happy trading.